have turned out to be dead wrong. So are we about to charge business in this country $1 trillion for a cap and trade bill that's based on a failed computer model? Let's ask Fox Business's Shabani. Actually, we have first with us Representative Rob Bishop. He joins us from Washington. And David Kreutzer. He is a physicist, I believe, from the Heritage Foundation, or a climatologist. Good to see you both. Representative Bishop, let me go to you first. Even though we are now getting some significant global cooling going on, we still have Democrats pushing this full steam ahead as if nothing has changed since 3 or 4 years ago. Why is that?
Well, you got to be serious with this bill. This is really a national energy tax bill whose goal is to raise money. Everyone says that from the president on down, that as we're asking people to tighten their belts, we're going to be charging them more for their energy. The money is not going to go to increase more energy. It's going to be going to help pay for government expansion.
And I guess that's why they decided not to bring Al Gore in, because people are worried more about government footprints than they are about carbon footprints now. Am I right?
Well, the inconvenient truth may be that we should bring him in, because I think he actually puts it in the proper perspective. So hopefully we won't have a tragedy tomorrow. But this is a bill, actually, that talks about increasing costs on people, and it will cost jobs in the long run and in the short run.
Well, Dr. Kreutzer, let's talk about the United Nations Commission that sort of started this whole global warming thing. It's called the IPCC, and a lot of their computer models have turned out to be incorrect. The one, in fact, that says that there's going to be a 1 degree increase in global temperature by 2011, apparently that hasn't happened, correct?
It apparently has the wrong sign. I have to say I'm an economist, not a climatologist.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but this is not a global warming climate change bill, because even if you believe the IPCC, the Waxman Markey will not have any noticeable impact on temperatures. It will have a huge impact on the economy. It's going to kill $9.4 trillion of GDP in just the first 24 years, and will create over $5 trillion worth of taxes. That's hundreds of billions of dollars per year. And I think the representative had exactly right. This is a tax bill. This is not a climate bill.
Well, Dr. Kreutzer, let me stick with you for a second, because even some business people are saying, look, there's nothing wrong with less pollution. I mean, it's a good thing. There's something in an economic term that refers to spending a little more of your capital, of your GDP, for pollution. Externalities are supposed to be sometimes a good thing. Isn't it at least a positive that we would have less pollution if this is enacted?
We have to understand, this is not a toxin like most pollutants. This is not something that's bad to breathe. It doesn't do anything to the ozone layer. It doesn't cause asthma. The only problem...
Well, according to the... Excuse me for interrupting, but according to the EPA, you're wrong. They have just deemed it to be a pollutant.
They deemed it to be a pollutant in this sense, that it's going to raise the temperature of the earth, which is going to raise the sea level, which is going to cause more storms, and we don't have the temperature going up in the past 10 years. It's only a pollutant in the EPA's mind to the extent that it makes the world warmer. It's not bad to breathe. They didn't say that. It's a huge misconception.
So, Congressman Bishop, the bottom line is we are basing a legislation that is going to cost a lot of money, possibly as much as $1 trillion over 10 years or more, on science that is at the very least unresolved, correct?
Well, I can't speak to the science angle. What I can speak to is the fact that this is a huge tax increase at the time we're asking people to tighten their belts. And there is a better way. I mean, Republicans have a better alternative to try and help the economy grow jobs by growing our energy supply. And this is going to hit people disproportionately. If you're rich, maybe an annoyance. If you're poor, it's going to hit you very hard. If you're right on the poverty borderline, it'll be the choice of heating your home or having a luxury like tuna casserole.
Well, Congressman, explain how it will hit the poor. Precisely how will they feel the effects of this bill?
This will increase energy costs. In fact, the president said when he was running that this will have energy costs skyrocketing. That's going to have an impact on the economy and what kind of jobs will stay here. Many of them will go abroad at the same time. And so it's money out of pocket. It's jobs that will be lost. Those people who are most vulnerable are those that are right on that economic level. We have always used growth in the economy to grow jobs and get people out of poverty. This is going the other direction.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead quickly, Doctor.
This is going to raise energy prices after inflation by 50 to 90%. It's going to destroy 2 million jobs at the beginning, 2.5 million jobs ultimately. It's a job-killing bill. It's a tax increase. It's exactly what we don't need right now.
Gentlemen, stay with us if you can. Want to bring in our panel here. Fox Business's Shivani Joshi, Rod Kurtz of Inc. magazine, and Fox Business's Cody Willard, who's reading through the legislation right now. What does it tell you, Cody?
It tells me that it's a bunch of nonsense, 1,100 pages of stuff that I can't decipher. And I'd ask the congressman, Representative, are you going to have a chance to read this before it's voted upon tomorrow? Or are you going to the luau that the White House is throwing for you?
Well, I'm not at luau now, so you could tell that. And at my size, I don't need more food. But it's... I don't think anyone's going to have the chance of reading it.
Or is that just a joke? I mean, obviously you won't be able to.
No, and it keeps changing as time goes on. I mean, we just had added the other day a chance for the United States taxpayers to fund foreign countries to not grow trees. I'd rather have them pay Americans not to grow or cut trees. I'm sorry, cut trees, not grow trees.
Might be great for the environment if they just quit writing these
Exactly. Stop killing all the trees with these bills. Shabani, the fact is people aren't going to read it. The science is unclear at best. If anything, it's proving that the temperatures are going down. How can we trade $1 trillion for something that flimsy?
Well, here's the thing. This is all meant to push a campaign promise and an agenda to push green energy initiatives. It is not considering the science that's behind it. It's not considering the impact on American citizens. These utility companies are going to get hit with an extra tax that is going to hit you and me and everyone that's around us right now. This is going to be a pass-through tax that's going to have a significant stifling effect on the economy at the point where we cannot afford to have any stagnation at this point.
You represent small and middle-sized businesses. Just as the congressman was saying about individuals, it's going to affect the small and mid-sized individuals. Same with companies. The big companies, the conglomerates, they'll be able to absorb the costs, but the small and mid-sized companies are going to be hit hard by it.
Well, they always fear taxes. I mean, it's consistently a #1 issue for small businesses. I was thinking how ironic it is to hear Al Gore, Mr. Green, described as toxic in this situation, but it is a concern. There was a poll out recently, I think it came out today, about 75% of Americans actually support some form of this. The question is how much. I think if it's $10 more per electricity bill, most are okay with it. The minute that jumps to, say, 25, it drops off considerably. So I think there's a consensus among a lot of people that maybe something.
Congressman, let's face it, that's why Democrats want to push it through as fast as possible, because the more Americans hear about it and the questionable science behind it, the less favorable they are towards it.
Well, I don't want to impute motives on anybody else, but I would tend to agree with you.
You're very generous. Dr. Kreutzer, bottom line is, how much will this eventually cost the United States?
Over $9 trillion just in the first 24 years. We didn't pretend to make projections beyond that. And it goes up to 2050. We only went to 2035. $9 trillion lost GDP, $5.7 trillion of taxes. A typical family of four is going to pay $1,200 a year more just for energy. The rest of the taxes coming through in higher product prices going to hit them in $4,000.
Congressman Bishop, is there any chance at all that this thing won't pass tomorrow?
Well, there's hope. We'll see if. I mean, you guys covered a national tragedy today. Let's hope we don't give you a national tragedy tomorrow as well.
All right. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Lady, thank you as well. We got to take a